Hey guys, just doing some finishing touches on a cell, and then we'll switch over to showcasing stuff in game. Like I don't see you, Tim. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Let's find out if this works. And see if I haven't just wasted extra time. Alright.
I put my things out on the counter so that they could get soft, and I just had a giant roach on my butter.
Baby.
I just cut off the part that it touched.
Okay. Please keep some of your chatter to a minimum.
Is this the same roach that harassed you this morning, baby?
I don't know.
It's
I,
pretty
I,
giant.
I don't know.
Look, I put
Alright.
all of them out.
Let's save that. Close that out. What are you doing?
These need to get to room temperature, but I don't want to leave them on the kitchen counters.
Okay.
With roaches. They're not gonna melt.
You know that is they're also over here. They're all the warm stuff, right? It's better to keep them in plain view somewhere you can see them.
But I'm not in the kitchen right
And
now.
I can't pay attention to right here. Sorry. Alright. Real quick, let's...
I want to be able to make this really yummy treat. I don't trust my counters.
Oh, did he add a CSO?
Fucking much. So fucking much.
Oh, that's sick. I'm so jealous. I think he's got the Sins model. I'm probably gonna retexture the one that I have used, but...
Yeah, they're fucking nasty little disgusting creatures. I hate them. You know what the worst part is? There's only like 3 species that are actually pests, and they make themselves such fucking problems that all the other roaches in the world get a bad rep. And they're always German roaches. It's the German roaches.
Can you not right now? Thank you. As I am live. Mm-hmm. With all of the every. With all of the every.
What? They're the species of roach.
If I don't, I don't know. Alright. Let me pull this up on my phone, make sure everything still looks fine. Might be bugging. It's hard to tell. One sec. That's enough. That's enough of that. Let's see how this runs. It's probably gonna be picking up my fiance in the background, cause she chose the perfect time to join a voice chat. Yep. Okay. Alright, let's see if all the work I did actually shows up. No clue what's gonna happen. But even if it doesn't, I know the stuff from before will already be there, so we're gonna spawn in. And just as a precaution, we're gonna go into stealth mode. And we're gonna go... Oh, what the hell? I don't know. We're gonna go take a look at some... It says legendary Varun ship. That's a typo. I don't know what that is. No clue. I need to change it. Just rename it, because it's the test cell I'm using to check all this stuff. So let's see if my game crashes. Oh wow, it's actually taking a while longer to load in. Alright, so... Ooh, all my ships actually seem to be here. And they're kind of moving around and adjusting. As you can see, it's quite a lot of these. And I place them all in cell mode, like the actual individual ships, and none of them have like in-depth behavior yet. I'm still trying to figure out how that all works out, so they can kind of move around and do stuff and spawn in naturally, other than where I have them placed. But let's turn on my engines and see if we can't go take a look. None of them should be hostile to me until I get close to these ones with the blue markers on them, because those are part of the vanilla Varun legendary ship quest. So this is like the standard, by the way, this is like the standard, like, oh, what's it called? The frontier ship, like the starter ship. That's literally all this is. So for scale. And here we have the CAR class frigate, for any of those who are unaffiliated and new. And this is one of the preface this by saying that I just put like a basic block collision box around most of these just for testing purposes, so collision's gonna be a bit buggy. But this is one of the smaller ships, as you can see here in a second, and even this thing is massive compared to this ship. They're like 1,000 meters long. Same with these corvettes, they're pretty big. Doing the collision on this is going to be a lot of fun. And we've got some CPV destroyers, these big weird looking guys. They're pretty massive. You got some CCS class battle cruisers and a bunch of CAS class assault carriers. They're pretty big. You have some ORS heavy cruisers. They're also pretty massive. I can get close to some of these. You'll see here in a sec. They're pretty huge. Oh no, they're aggroing to me. These will attack me if I shoot at one of them. But right now it's just, I guess, a couple of those over there that are pissed at me. So like these things are pretty big. go full speed here. Yeah, here's one of the RS heavy cruisers. I'm probably gonna change the material for this blue lighting here, because as you can see, it kind of clips. But the rest of the blue lighting, the other blue lighting is fine. Yeah, you're a giant box. I know. This is so aggravating. So as you can see, these are all pretty huge. But time for the big reveal, if it actually shows up. And oh, I don't think it did. I think it didn't spawn in. Damn. Yeah, I was wondering what was happening. There's supposed to be a really big one of these, but it just didn't spawn in. It spawned in previously in my earlier test, but that was before I added more ships. Maybe it's the proximity. I need to like spread them out more. I don't know. Hello, it is actually 9:25 p.m. for me. Oh, I need to turn on my cheats. We'll turn on God mode, so I don't have to worry about refueling my thing, and I can just boost forever. Real quick, I'm gonna swap these so that I can. There we go. Now my chat is more directly in my line of sight. All right. Yes, sweetheart. Tonight? I guess, yeah, sure. Alright. Will I be working on other projects after the Halo one? No, because I don't want to. Halo is kind of like my pretty big obsession. And this is going to take a very, very long time, as it is, because of just the nature of doing total conversion projects. I mean, I like other IPs and all that, but I really want to do a really big scale Halo thing. So that's kind of my main focus here. That's all I'll really be focusing on. I'll probably, you know, once I get things to a good point and I feel like I can slow down a little bit more, and you know, not be trying to work on things with as quickly as a pace as I am now, I'll probably sit back and actually take the time to enjoy some other people's mods. I still have yet to try the King Gaff mod because I don't have the however many thousand creation points it costs to buy that. I think it's like $10 or something. I don't know. God, I really wish that the CSO, there's supposed to be a really massive one of these above all of them that just didn't spawn in. So, as you can see, this is still a pretty big Covenant invasion force. You know, a lot of ships here, a lot of damage to be done. So what's the UNSC's response? Well, if we come over here, this is the time to see if this will actually work. UNSC has a response to this this potential threat, you see, and man, I hope this loads in. This is the longest it's ever taken to load. This is insane. Oh yeah, here we go. So as you can tell, oh wow. Got a lot of ships here. Got a lot going on. We got some new ships that I have not showcased before. And some new space stations as well. All this stuff seems to be loading in just fine. That's pretty good. So we have some classics here, some real classics. Oh yeah, that's I was supposed to wake up right now. Yeah, absolutely, Crow. Once I get set up for that stuff, and we're gonna move on to doing voice lines and all that. If you have a decent mic, yeah, we're gonna need lots of VA work done. So. We got some Hillsborough class destroyers here. Some Valiant super heavy cruisers right here on the left. Again, these are all going to have basic block collision, so I can't like be super explorative with some of these ships, but yeah. You can see they're still a decent size. We got some Halberd destroyers, which I've shown before. Some more Gladius corvettes. I have a lot that I just kind of copied and pasted around to make it look like a nice little fleet formation and all that. The anchor station that some of you may remember from Reach. Is showcased fairly nicely. It turned out pretty nice. This will have an interior once I get that all set up and done with it. Most of the stations that I'm working on will. And you'll see a couple others here in a second. So we've got, of course, the classic Halcyon, the Flight 1 Halcyon model. Most of these have been provided and worked on by the lovely KRP 1138. Super cool Star Wars reference username there, for those of you who don't know. And he's done some real fantastic work. We've got the Artemis battle cruiser. This is from the Sins of the Prophets mod. They designed this ship, which is a mod for Sins of a Solar Empire, for those of you who don't know. And this is essentially like the sniper ship of the UNSC. We got some Paris heavy frigates. This guy is just, you know, god tier level piloting over here. And up here, we got an Orion class assault carrier, I think is what it's called. Previously, that ship, the Artemis, that was called the Orion battlecruiser, but then that got changed when this ship got added in, and I think it was after this became a canon ship, but it might have been before. I'm really not too clear on the timelines, so I'm not too sure. I'm sure some of them will correct me on that later on. Some nice blinking lights action right there. And I didn't have a UNSC logo texture that I imported yet, so I just kind of gave them all UC logo textures on the sides of their ships. And the Artemis has like the Red Devil thing, or whatever it's called, the Devil Dogs, or whatever it is from the Xeno unit for the UC Vanguard, I think. Oh, lots of stuff. Crew. Did I say crow earlier? I meant crew. I'm blind. I mean, right now I'm mainly focusing on like ships, and then I'll probably take a break once I've gotten all the ships that I'm working on in here. I will also be working on some small fighter craft that are about the size of these ships, or maybe even smaller, or some a little bit bigger. The longswords are pretty big. I think a longsword might be bigger than this ship that I'm currently in. You know, sabers, Nandows, Basilards, some stuff from the greater Halo universe that haven't been featured in the games before. Some Covenant fighter craft I'm also working on. Let's see, over here we got some Epoch carriers right here and right here. I've shown those on last week's stream. The Punic class supercarriers looking real nice and lovely. Let's see here. What else have I put in here that's new? The Phoenix class support vessel, which was showcased as the Spirit of Fire from the Halo Wars game, is looking real nice. Yeah, some of these have blue tags and some of them don't. I just haven't had added faction stuff to most of these yet, so they're real basic. So, yeah. I decided to go with the gray plating on the Phoenix just because it's supposed to be a refit from a colony vessel, and so I went with that instead. And this is also going to be one of the larger ships that I want the player to be able to pilot, which I know seems insane because of how big it is. It's massive engines on the back. All the engine housing. I know you're struggling. You don't like it. Personal space. That right there is the bridge. Oh, thank you, baby. Yeah, really don't like being touched. Let's see. Moving forward, we have some. I thought I placed more. I could have sworn I did. They might not be loading in right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they're probably not loading in right. I'm gonna mess around with the stuff and see if I can't optimize this a little bit better. This is an E-Rod class orbital defense platform. It's essentially a giant gun. This one's actually 2 giant guns. Model's a little rough right now. If we fly over here, you know, this stuff seems small far away, but when you gotta get up close to it, I mean, I'm going at 179 speed. $15 miles long. Is that the CSO? If it's a Halo ship, that sounds like it might be the CSO. I don't know. The CSO was supposed to be in here, but it just didn't load in. I might mess with the cell real quick and see if I can't get it functioning better. Yeah, so this is the one from Halo 2, you might recall. Now, is it gonna have buggy? It is. Son of a bitch. No matter how many times I try to like fix the collision to be more custom on here, unless I make it like hug the geometry really well. It just doesn't have. Eventually, I'd like it to have like either docking right here, where your ship pulls in right here, and one of these arms reaches out, and that's the docking port. Or depending on the class of ship you have, if you have like a bigger ship, there's a docking port right here as well. And I might slap another one like right back here near the bridge of the station. So, and in classic Halo fashion, in reference to some Halo 2 stuff, I put them in pairs of 3. I tried to do that with the E-rods in the cell, but I guess they just didn't spawn in correctly. But not too bad for all these ships that are loaded in. Now I am on the low end settings for graphical stuff, but I also have a pretty like low end graphics card and not the best specs to run this game, but it still runs fairly smooth, so it's not too bad. I'm trying to think of any other ships that I haven't shown off yet. We've got some Paris class and some Charon or Charon class frigates. Actually, I don't think there's any Charon classes over here. This is all Paris. Yeah, these are all Paris classes. They're still pretty big, even though they're frigates for the UNSC. I will, baby, hold on. Yes, I know. Collision. So the only ships in here right now that you won't be able to pilot are the big Punics. So that big one, these, I think there's another one somewhere else. Oh, why am I going backwards? I think I put one over there, but it just didn't spawn in. A lot of this is like touch and go about how to optimize all this stuff. But all the other ships, the Orion, which actually is shorter than the Phoenix and the Epoch, which I was surprised to learn. I thought the Orion would be bigger, but it's actually shorter than those two. So that one will work. The one right above my left engine there. The Artemis, of course, the Halcyon, the Marathon, all the smaller craft, obviously. So yeah, all those will be pilotable. The Citadel Alliance, oh, like a Mass Effect thing? Ooh, we're having some weird texture-y glitch issues, I think, from all the stuff being loaded in. Making like all those weird sounds about connecting and disconnecting and ship movement and stuff. That's weird. And I'd like to have some of these stations and then eventually those ODP platforms over in cells that are in most planets. At least later on down for the storyline stuff. For the like standalone version of stuff, the like just the basic replacer thing, then you know you can just have them all over whatever planet, and it doesn't really matter. One sec while I eat my fiance's delicious food she made me. Oh, that's really good, baby. Holy shit. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, here's a Charon next to a Paris. You can notice the bigger troop bay on the bottom. The Paris has a pretty small bottom section. Thin compared to the Charon. And the Stalwart, which I still need to clean up and get in game. From Halo 2. Okay, I see. I got you. Kind of like a... oh, what's that one IP that does like a bunch of different stuff? The Black Mirror, I think? What was it called? Dark Mirror, whatever. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of TV. Let's see if I can get that CSO to spawn in again. Outside the bounds? I don't know. I don't know why it would be having this issue. Well, I think I'm gonna save. No, I think I'm gonna load the previous save, probably. Oh, what the? Are those potato waffles? You're adorable. I'm gonna load an earlier save. Hey, Scrivener. We're gonna exit the game real quick. Look good, baby. Yeah.
That crunchy yumminess is from cheese.
It's delicious.
Yeah?
Yeah. The CFN Shadow. I don't know. Is that like a your own sort of thing, or is that from something? I'm unfamiliar with it. If it's a different like Fanon ship design or something, I'm not familiar with all the Fanon designs. And some of them I really like. One sec while I bring you over here. Shorten you this way. Alright, I'm gonna load up the CK real quick. I don't know if it'll capture everything, so I might have to do a screen capture. So let me see about that real quick. Oh, gotcha, okay. Seems cool. I'm a fan of stupidly big, nonsensical ships. Especially if they look cool. Yeah, it's probably not going to capture all this. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, it's not capturing at all. So we're gonna turn this off and turn on my display capture, which should, yeah, capture everything. Okay. And we're going to find out why the Covenant cell isn't working. So we're gonna go to space, and we're gonna go to ZW14. Yeah, I know someone else was working on a like a Citadel and as well as some other stuff. There's a couple like really decent Mass Effect mod stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know why it's not rendering in. Maybe it's too far away, or there's too many things, or let's try bringing that in. to see if that works. I have to get rid of one of these bad boys. You're probably gonna have to go. And we'll get rid of you. I think 3 CAS is enough. Oh, save that. I don't know if you can hear, but my fiance is blending or mixing something in the background. So, oh, it's because I have Starfield open.
It's my electric whip.
Let's quit that. There we go. Now I should be able to save. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now let's hope that loads in. Let's trying to see if there's anything I can get rid of that will be super intensive. I don't think so. Then we'll go over to the UNSC side of things.
Yes. Both of those answers are correct.
I don't know, this is weird. The Citadel Alliance military. Okay, alright. I see what you're cooking.
Violence.
Yeah, there was supposed to be another one over here, but it just did not spawn. So let's go ahead and get rid of that one. And we'll get rid of this one too. I think that should be fine. And then let's just get rid of a bunch of these Corvettes.
No. I'm stupid. Ah.
It's been a really nice test so far, and how many like big intensive things you can load, like ships and all that kind of stuff. Especially when they're really bright. Slow things way down. I just have like a black screen, like the Starborn ship texture over them. There is a little interior bit right here I haven't done anything with yet. But I mean, a lot of the ships have that. But they're all just kind of basic right now. Because they're not pilotable yet. I'll work on that soon enough. This one I think has... Yeah, here you go. This is a good reference for how big some of these fucking ships are. I mean, these aren't nothing habs. You know, this is a pretty decent size for the vanilla ships. You know, but even with all that length, you're nothing. It's just tiny compared to the rest of this whole. You can see some of the ships a little better when it's nice and shiny. Which, you know, is as much a benefit as it is a not reward. The Gladius Corvette actually has some of the most work done on one of the non-palatable ships. Like, this has, like... Let me slow down. Has, like, a full little section in here. And its, bridge is actually close up next to the actual bridge. And it's got a docking port near the docking port. As close as I can get it without it looking kind of goofy. I might alter that a little bit. This one might even be like actually functional more or less right now.
I said at least once a month.
So now that that's all working, let's see if we can't get all three of these to spawn in. And then let's go ahead and get rid of a couple of these epoch carriers. We'll go ahead and get rid of that one. And we'll get rid of this one.
Also, I'm extremely time blind on account of my ADHD.
I think 3 should be fine. Why not? We'll see if that loads in well. I'll go ahead and get rid of the second anchor station. Don't really need it right now. I'll move you over here. And, let's drop you down a little bit. Give some nice variation there.
Pouring the muffins into the pan and starting to bake. So, I actually didn't have any cupcake liners. So, I'm making like a muffin cake.
Shove you somewhere else, a little bit over this way. Go ahead and get rid of some more Corvettes right here that I just pasted. Don't need to be there. That's probably good. Yeah, we'll see how this loads in. Same with the other stuff. I'm actually going to go back and do a little more pruning on the Covenant cell. When I initially loaded in, some of this stuff just didn't show up, you know. Some of the ships, I think some of the Gladiuses weren't showing up. These other 2 E-Rod stations were missing. There was a Punic over here as well that didn't show up. I think everything over here showed up. Maybe the Epoch didn't. A couple of these cruisers, I really can't be too sure. The Valiant Super Heavy Cruiser. Alright. I think that should be good. I think maybe a couple of these Artemises didn't show up either now that I think about it. I really don't know. I'll go ahead and get rid of one more. Just kind of doing some pruning of extra bits that don't really need to be in here right now. We'll just give him a tag team of 2. You're gonna go. Or a tag team of 3, rather. Not 2. Alright. Let's save so nothing crashes. Okay. Well, thank you. Forgot to turn on my background music. Okay. Now, let's go back in here. Oh, you already missed it, Michael. I already showcased it. It's over. No, I'm gonna do it again. I'm just
set a timer for 10 minutes.
I'm just going through and cleaning up the cell a little bit because some things didn't show up. And we'll go ahead and get rid of you. It's probably all the lights, all the little LODs and stuff like that. That's probably what's fucking me up. We'll get rid of some of these car frigates. Get rid of some of the cars. They're pretty light intensive. Maybe one more of the CPV destroyers. There we go. How's that look? Everything good position. I'll go ahead and get rid of you too. Really only need a couple of U's. So I'll go ahead and... So sorry, but you need to be pruned. Not this. These right now. These are just test cells. But I am gonna work on a battle test cell, a battle scene, after I showcase these. And, you know, and I make sure things load in correctly. Spoiler warning! Oh God! The whole reason I even came into fucking the CK. So I could work on stuff. This isn't the final texture for this. I just didn't have a good texture for it. This is a vanilla material, which I don't really hate so much. I mean, I kind of like the blue on the CSO. But I'll mess around with the texture patterns and kind of getting looking nice. The front half of it doesn't look too terrible already on its own, but I'm going to change up some things. I had to delete a lot and do a lot of work on this. Just this little bump section right here, just this little thing on the back, had so many polygons. Most, you can kind of see it if I zoom in and zoom away. Most of the polygons on this ship, on this whole ship, are from this fucking part right here. Which seems ridiculous. And then there was like some city bits underneath it, or buildings, or whatever the hell. It was just a nightmare. But gonna clean that up. And been thinking about doing something with a big scary glassing beam. So let's save and quit. Load back up into the game. Yeah. It's just all the stuff with all this lighting is the problem that Starfield doesn't seem to like. All the ships with lights. And I don't know how to optimize that without just taking away all the lighting. You know, like some ships don't have terribly bright lighting, but Starfield's vanilla lighting system is kind of terrible. I mean, it's not that it's terrible, it's just, it's not very efficient. It doesn't seem like. Alright, so double save because I'm paranoid. Yeah, they do still fight like small shuttles. Kind of, the CAS carriers don't. They are really slow. I want to slow them down more. I have to go in and like modify the space self. But yeah, this is how big the CSO is. This, let me slow myself down a little bit. This right here would already be like an M-class size kind of looking thing. You know, with some variation to it, obviously. But this is already big. Not even, barely a drop. Nothing in here. And it's all the way far away from the second half, yeah, which is right here, which has more M-class parts. And these starborn lasers that do nothing. Or torpedoes, rather. I don't know why. Yeah, this is how I got this ship to be super slow. I added all this stuff with all this extra mass. All these parts have a lot of mass to them. And then these are the engines for this ship. So that's why it moves super slow. You have to actively slow them down and decrease their maneuverability. So it's, I think it's glow effects that I put on here. And they do emit lighting stuff. Like this one's kind of scuff. I need to go and change that. But on these, they're glow effects that I put them on the materials. Yeah, I'll have to find out what those look like in the creation kit. Xander, did you miss the big announcement, Xander? I don't know, did you miss the big announcement? I'm about to hop back in the game to see if it all works correctly, so let's turn on my game capture again. You will all be in darkness for a couple seconds. Let me close out. Save changes. Yes, I just saved. I'm just messing with you, Xander. Cool name, by the way, Xander. Alright, let's load up Starfield. I can, fire at the Covenant vessels and they'll all just start turning on me, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's load this. What the fuck? Oh, that was weird. Alright. Now let's see if it worked. Because I got it to work before. Oh, Alpha Guardian. Alright, cool. Alright. Okay. And no, it didn't. Son of a bitch. I don't know, I got it to load in before. I mean, I took some screenshots of it. Here, I'll post those on the Discord real quick so you can see. Let me go to screenshots. Yeah. Yeah, all those are in. I mean, the one with the lighting is just me fucking around with the sun behind it, but. Oh yeah, no, I'm fucking small. Like, I think I'm a little bit bigger or smaller, or about the size, somewhere like Saber size from Halo Reach, which is a good comparison because when you see these Corvettes, which are to scale, and I'm gonna bump into it because it just has a box collision right now. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit bigger than a Saber fighter. I mean, this is about what it feels like to be outside this thing when you're playing Halo Reach. Yeah, no. None of you like being touched. I get it. Alexa, dismiss. Yeah, so if I shoot at one of these, you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, let me turn on my weapons. Alright, here we go. Ooh, right away! You can see the CASs are actually turning slow too. I also need to figure out how to change their engagement distance and their, oh, I forgot to turn on God mode. I'm so smart. I put the turrets on here because I thought the turrets would have like if you think, by the way, that you'll be able to destroy one of these without some massively overpowered weapon, I need to pay close attention to this thing's shields. Oh, they all have collision. It's just the collision is a block. It's just a big block around the parameters of the ship.
You're scrapped, you hear me?
I just pushed the CAS far away. That's so funny. This looks so cinematic and aesthetically pleasing, and you can't convince me that it doesn't. Yeah, all these ships flying at me like regular Starfield ships. And, what are you talking about? This is so... It's like Scorsese level cinematics here, but you say something else. You guys think they know where I'm at? Let's get the hell away from here and go to the UNSC side of things. So this is the Covenant fleet, guys. This is their massive invasion fleet, and they have a CSO that's hidden somewhere. There's advanced cloaking technology at work here. I know, it's unfortunate. We gotta get the fuck out of here. If I get far enough away from them, we'll disengage the combat, and then I can just zip out of here, but I gotta leave. Starfleet versus the Covenant, let's go. I'm sorry, Starfleet stands no chance. I like Star Trek, I do, but Covenant plasma and shielding and slip space technology is like nothing else. It takes like Starfleet ships so long to get anywhere, and it would take the Covenant like days to get across large swaths of the galaxy that would take significantly longer for other ships. Not to mention Forerunner tech, which is like near instantaneous,
Yeah, you're done.
relatively speaking. Yeah, I'm done for. So that's the Covenant fleet. That's a Covenant invasion fleet. And here we're gonna look at the UNSC's response to said invasion fleet. If you're gonna look over the planet of the UNSC planet of Jemison, of course, we're all familiar in Halo lore with the UNSC planet of Jemison. It's a critical planet. See, it's in all the books. If you missed it, that's on you. But we're gonna see if everything loads in correctly here. And here we go. Oh boy. Yeah, there we go. So here we have the one of the UNSC's home defense fleets. I don't know. That's not to mention UNSC Mac technology. Even though the UNSC doesn't have shields, and Starfleet weapons would have an advantage in that part. Xander, if you ask me where the Infinity is, I'm gonna ban you from chat. I'm kidding, but the Infinity is not gonna be featured in here for quite some time. If you want the Infinity, you're gonna have to deal with the Proto Infinity, the Infinity before the Infinity, which is the Punic class supercarrier right here. I think my other E-Rods, nope, still did not show up. They still did not load in, which is upsetting. It's unfortunate. The Monktons are loading in, which is odd because they have 2,000 objects. They're way more intensive than the E-Rods, but for some reason E-Rods don't want to work with me. Yes, I do have a, technically it's a Phoenix class support ship, but yeah. Again, much to the dismay of Michael, the goal is to have this be the largest class of ship that you can pilot. This and the Epoch and the Orion, the carrier classes. And it's gonna have buggy collision because I just put a big block around it for testing purposes, but she's a big beaut. She's a big woman. But yeah, no, Starfleet would have the advantage over the UNSC in regards to like laser stuff, and the UNSC doesn't have shields until like late Human Covenant War and post-Human Covenant War. However, the UNSC has one area where it significantly yes, baby. It's good. It's really good. What is it?
It's cream cheese icing.
It's delicious. One area where it really excels that would do some serious damage against Starfleet, and that is their Mac guns. Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, no, that's the thing is like all these factions that would they wouldn't, fight each other. It's like who would win, the UNSC or the Human Empire and Warhammer 40K, and it's like, I mean, odds are they would probably team up. So that's not even a question. But no, I mean, like if they had to go against each other, no, Warhammer 40K is taking that fight. Covenant would do some pretty good damage against them. The Flood would be a pretty good threat, depending on a lot of different factors. The Forerunners, for sure, and absolutely the Precursors, but the Forerunners would mollywop the Warhammer 40K universe. It's just, that's not even a question. The level of technological advancement and abilities that the Forerunner had. It just doesn't even come close. Frigate-sized ships should be the biggest ones you can fly. Michael, you're welcome to your wrong opinion. That's what's great about the First Amendment of this fine country. But, yeah, see, the rule of cool dictates we get to fly big ships. The Pillar of Autumn handles really well. I could load it in and take a gander around here as well. So here's the halberd. Let me, is it, okay, I think it's alt. Is it space? It's space. I don't know if anyone else knows you can do this, by the way. If you hold spacebar, I don't know what it is on controller. I know it's one of the buttons. But you can, like, thrust in specific directions. So here's the halberd, which I thought forever ago that the halberd was bigger than the frigates, but they're actually smaller than most UNSC frigates, which I found interesting. Can you stop? There we go. It's probably because I had it selected. Your opinion is the only opinion that matters. Well, that's a fine opinion to have. Here's also the Hillsborough class destroyers. Now, I'll tell you something that's interesting, is that in Sins of the Prophets, this is the light destroyer, and the halberd is the heavy destroyer. But in Halo lore, the halberd is the light destroyer, and the Hillsborough is a heavy destroyer. Alexa, stop. Which is interesting because this ship is much older than the halberd. So just some fun little odd tidbits of lore. Starfleet has advanced sensors so they can easily analyze the Covenant ship's shield and adjust the frequency of their weapons to match the shield frequencies. I mean, maybe, but Covenant shields are based off of Forerunner shields, and they're pretty hard to punch through. I mean, listen, in the Halo universe, in the gameplay and other media and stuff like that, none of those things do the physics of how a Mac gun works to justice, because in Halo canon, some of these Mac rounds, the sizes and the speeds with which they're moving, especially the big E-Rod gun right here, and the super heavy Macs of the Punic and some of these other ships, you're talking about a gigantic slug of tungsten that is moving at 1/10 the speed of light. That is an object that's moving so fast you could blink and miss it if it crossed this entire space of where this fleet is. Something that's moving ridiculously fast. We're talking tens of thousands of meters a second. And law of conservation of energy of mass means that if something that big with that amount of kinetic energy slams into you, nothing is not going to happen. Like you're not just going to be fine out of the blue. Which also just goes to showcase to you how impressive Covenant shielding technology is. And Forerunner shielding technology, because outside of the one time where we saw the Infinity somehow use her Mac guns that didn't really look like Mac guns to punch a hole in the Mantle's approach in Halo 4, if you remember in Halo 3, a bunch of UNSC ships fired consecutive and concussive Mac rounds at the Forerunner Dreadnought and it did nothing. It's not even a scratch. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. The Borg would also get fucked up by the Covenant. You also need to remember just how vast the Covenant Empire is, and how massive some of these ships are. 29 kilometers for the CSO is not nothing. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of weapons of different varying amounts and massive plasma lances, and its massive glassing laser, or plasma lance, or whatever, you know, its giant beam. Yeah, well, railguns, it's the same principal technology. Railguns and magnetic acceleration cannons and coil guns. It's all just you're using magnets, essentially, and electromagnetic energy to propel something in a direction really, really fast, which you can do. I mean, we had prototype Navy railguns, which have a similar principle to the Mac gun, and a triple barrel railgun. I think the Infinity has like 4 or 5 primary Macs on its forward-facing, its spinal-mounted Macs. I know it's got like smaller, like the little tiny Mac guns that you use on Halo Reach. It's got a bunch of those all over the place, which are also really good. I mean, I don't know. Mac, you know, railgun and Mac technology is so underrated in gameplay and in the greater Halo universe. The UNSC gets its shit kicked in mostly for plot reasons. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, this thing is a glass cannon, to be sure. I mean, the titanium A ablative plating armor is supposed to be specifically plasma and heat resistant in design, and it got improved as the Human Covenant War went on. But in the games and in other media, it just looks like it does nothing. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's like Halo sets up its stuff to have specific types of physics, and then just goes on to ignore those physics, and it makes it very confusing. Because by all accounts, most ships in the UNSC have Mac guns. Even this thing, the Gladius Corvette, has a small Mac gun, and those things should be putting up a way better fight against the Covenant than they do, at least in my humble opinion. Like, 1/10 the speed of light ain't nothing. That's fast as shit. And that's a lot of energy moving fast as shit. Don't come into my chat and start your nonsense. Don't even come in here and fucking...
Do you disagree with me?
Well, no, but... Oh, your thing got auto-modded for some reason. Hold on. Yeah, for whatever reason, your comment got auto-modded. The Patreon... I don't know why that got auto-modded. That's weird. I didn't even see a thing for that. That's not even popping up in my chat. Apparently this is a common problem with YouTube, so I don't know. Yeah, it fired 2... you can't see me right now, I'm air quotes, Mac rounds at the Mantle's approach in Halo 4. It has like 4 or 5, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'll have to look at it again, because I'm not gonna not include the Infinity. It's just gonna be a later war ship because that's when it was developed. You know, you might be able to get it earlier to show up if you make certain choices for the story stuff, but other than that, no, it's like, I don't hate the Infinity. It's fine. It's technically speaking the most powerful UNSC ship. Until I include the Thanatos. But I'm just not a huge fan of its overall design. Like, I don't hate it. It's not like ugly, necessarily speaking. There's some parts I like, some parts I don't. But I don't know, just not my favorite ship. That's all. Yeah, it was supposed to be developed as a lifeboat, I suppose, but I don't know. I watched too many like Halo like concept sort of like idea videos and stuff about like how that doesn't even really make sense, because why would the UNSC waste its dwindling war resources on one giant lifeboat instead of making several smaller, beefy, like more souped up and beefy ships to either combat the Covenant or to ferry humanity away? Because it makes better sense to split up your resources and split up the population if it's supposed to be a lifeboat, and send them in different directions than it is to put all your eggs in one basket, because that's just poor strategic decisions, that's poor economic decisions, that's a poor like saving the humanity, you know, like the population decision. It's just not very smart. But I have a lot of gripes with how the Infinity acts in the games that we see it in. Who let the Texans build a ship? Listen, we got some big shipyards, I'm pretty sure, you know. I don't know that we have the biggest in the country. I'm pretty sure those are like in California and I think Washington and a couple other places. But we got some big shipyards down here in Texas. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, designed for war but repurposed for peace. I mean, yes, but also no. I mean, it was supposed to be like it was humanity's last like their big emergency ship. But again, you know, like it just, why would you field all those resources into one really big, expensive, vulnerable ship? Because if the whole of the Covenant Armada came down on Earth, the Infinity ain't doing shit. Like, she'll put up a fight, for sure, but, you know, it's the same thing as if you were to take a couple Punics, and these are some beefy, like, these things are almost as big as the Infinity. The Punic is 4 kilometers long. It was the super carrier of the UNSC Navy for a very long time, before it was even the UNSC Navy, it was the CMA Navy. And it's got 2 of these massive coil defense guns. These Mark, I want to say they're like Mark 15 breakwaters is what they're called. And each of these is like a rail gun. And look at how big these fucking things. If it'll let me get this close to it, we'll see. It doesn't like me. It doesn't want me to touch it. That's okay. Consent is important, boys. What? Yeah, it smells good. Looks good. I mean, these things are huge. I'm still kind of far away from it right now because of the game. Get right up next to it. They're pretty big. Now I get it. Don't want to be touched. I'm leaving. So yeah, the only, as I said earlier at the start of the stream, the only ships that for sure will not be pilotable that are displayed here are the Punics. Human ships in atmosphere. Oh yeah, no, I don't plan for, except for a couple, like very special shipyards or like docking stations, maybe a couple specific examples for some larger cruiser classes to dock down on planet. But no, for the player pilotable stuff, it's gonna be, you know, your corvettes, fighters, other landing craft, frigates, and destroyers for the UNSC warships. There are going to be some civilian vessels too. It's not just going to be warships you've seen. And I'm working on those as well. But yeah, Virginia. Virginia makes sense. Virginia's the only one that beats Texas in military recruitment, but we beat the rest of the country in special forces recruitment. So, or at least we did, you know, a few years ago. It might be different now. Texas does not have a U.S. Navy shipyard, but they do have plenty of civilian dry docks. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I knew. We had a bunch of like big shipping stuff down there. I just didn't know if we had any military shipbuilding services down there. Mother of Invention frigate. I feel like I get the name, but I don't know. What am I fucking running into? Like, there's nothing here. Is it collision? Is it the Spirit of Fire I'm running into? No. I think it's something else. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is the Spirit of Fire. Yeah, it is just one giant cube until I rework the collision, which is gonna be fun. Oh yeah, that's right. No, you told me about that, and I stopped watching Red vs. Blue after that. So. Yeah, don't. Why would you say funny T streaming site? That makes it sound like some sort of weird porn thing. P-Treon. What is wrong with you? Like, special kind of autistic? P-Treon.
Right, the actual names of the site, that's why my comment got
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know why comments referencing other sites on YouTube are getting scuffed, but... Well, listen. All my links to my other stuff, I'll just talk about it, you know? I'll be streaming on Twitch after this. We're probably going to play some modded Among Us, so if you like that kind of gameplay, and you don't give a shit about, you know, keeping a consistent sleep schedule, please come and join us. I'm gonna disagree with that, Scrivener, mostly just because they're like the aesthetic of some of them was not really some of those new, like that Deimos mod, the Deimos ships and ship parts mod. I can't remember who put it out. That just came out. A lot of that stuff looks fucking great for civilian craft. Unfortunately, that is a paid mod and also not mine. And so I'm not going to be involved with that in any shape, way, or form, or make that a requirement, because that's just not what we're doing here. But there are plenty of civilian ships, not a whole lot of models actually, but there are some other ships that I'm going to get in, and some ships I still need to make in Blender. Yeah, I know. They had a destroyer which was named the Charon or Charon or Charon or however you want to say it, and then they had the frigate named something else. I don't know. It was a confusing battle. I don't know why my other E-rods just do not want to load in. It's upsetting. Oh, the sun's not out right now either, so I can't show you how sick the fucking logo on the side of the Artemis battle cruiser looks. This is easily one of my favorite fan designs. It's so damn nice to look at. It's just something about that giant split bow. Oh. You might still be able to see it pretty decently. I wish there were ship's lights. I don't know if there are or are not. No, I don't think there are. Disable my weapons so I don't accidentally fire on these guys. Actually, that'd be kind of fun to watch. To see what happens. Oh yeah, no. I mean, there are a lot of like random space battles that if you find pop up. But there's not like consistent large-scale story ones. Does the ship have a flashlight? No, I don't think so. Quick keys that do nothing. Honestly, if I can find a way to use some extra quick keys or different commands or something to create a extra weapon function or some other ship ability or something, I really want to do that. The ship does have a light. See, that's what I thought, but I'm not seeing anything. Spaceship. No. I don't see anything about lights. Open scanner. That might be a mod, man. I don't know. let's fire at one of the UNSC ships and watch all hell break loose. Target. See if I can hit this without lock on. Yeah! Look at that! Boy, isn't that fucking terrifying to look at. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. Yeah, and they're all fast as fuck, too, because they're all based off of this ship. Oh, no. The orbital platforms don't have weapons or anything else on them yet. They're literally just like a single structure or have object. Just there to look pretty right now.
Can't get away from me.
I think I can. I think I might be able to get away from you. It just looks like meteorites. It really does.
This is pathetic.
I agree, it is pathetic. Oh, wow, I'm starting to lag now. This just means I'll have to be careful about how many ships I put in combat with each other.
Oh, I got this.
Massive fleets like this going at each other might just break the game. Now L does this. L pulls up my quests. Yeah, none of them have like special weapons or anything on them yet. Oh, hey, look, There's some flickering right there.
Won't be enough left for salvage when I'm done. Gonna light you up.
I'm so good at dodging them.
You'll be nothing but debris when we're done here.
Yeah, I'll take a double cheese, no
I'm not backing
onions.
down. You bet your
Can I get that with extra mustard? Okay, I'll pull around.
Can't
That's
get
what we
away
need.
from me.
Space burger joints. Oh no, if they had mac guns and I didn't have God mode on, I'd be fucked. Sergeant Owl apparently is working on some big like super weapon ships. Oh man, look, USC laser weapons. Oh. Enemy missiles locked on. Oh no. Oh fuck.
Last mistake you ever make.
Is it gonna be the last mistake I ever make? I feel like it's not. I feel like I'm gonna crash the
Gonna
game's
light
gonna
you up.
crash. Yeah, I actually here I'll show you guys here in a second, I guess. I still need to clean them up and apply some materials to them. And figure out what the fuck is wrong with one of the covenant ones. Yeah. See you guys. So suffer in darkness for but a moment. Okay. I'm gonna open up trusty old Nifscope here. Open up my display capture. Here we go. So let's see here. Yeah, so I've got this. This is just a bulk material that I put on them so that it's easy to transport out of there. I need to make the materials for these in the creation kit and then apply them on here so that it looks alright. But we got the Space Phantom as a small craft for combat. We have the Space Banshee, which will be fun to implement as a small enemy craft for combat. Let's see here. And then the Morsam Pattern Seraph, which has scuffed textures, because I don't know why they just want to replace whatever's here with black. But that's going to get fixed. For an enemy strike craft. And then for the UNSC, the two that I have right now are the Nandau, which I need to fix the faces on in here, which luckily you can do in Nifscope, by the way. I don't know if you know that. It's super easy to do. If parts of your thing are missing, this is for modders out there. There will be sabers, yeah. So I'm going to do sabers, long swords, all that fun stuff. So what you do is you select your mesh, and then you can go and look for a piece that has a face swapped or whatever, but you know it's still there. So what you do is you hold shift, you click, and while still holding shift you right click and you can flip face, and that fixes it. That way I don't have to plug this back into Blender, do all that work there, because I don't know how to do it in 3DS. All that fun stuff. As for the player being able to pilot this craft, I'd like to be able to do that. I'll have have to take a look at the Jedi craft and all that stuff and see how that all works. Because I actually have not done that. To see how easy it would be to set it all up. And then the other craft that I have is the... let me flip that one face. Is the Basilart. What the hell? That's not right. Something is wrong. Oh. There we go. The Basilard, which is featured in several books, and is like another small UNSC strike craft. This one doesn't have a pilot seat on it actually, but there's also no textures or faces or normals I need to fix on it, so that's good. Oh, I don't think anyway. Hold on. No, those are scuffed. Why? Oh, actually, I think all I need to do is... Oh, there we go. That's fixed. And yeah, that one's good too. So it was just that weird issue. I'll go ahead and save that. So that's done. Oh, and the engines. Flip faces. There we go. I don't know why that does that for some reason. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I did not know that, but that's super nice. Yeah, it might be too many AI active at once. I really don't know what causes things to not load. Or, you know, that was causing the lag as well. Let's smooth those normals out, and I want to say it's this one. Is it what does flipping the normals do? I don't remember. Oh, there we go. That fixes that. There we go. That's what it was. I knew it was one of those options that got the weird texture or the weird material bits to fix. Yeah, this will be a little strike craft, and then of course, you know, different variations of the good lord, it's escaping my brain right now. The long sword, and I don't know that I want to make the short sword a spacecraft, but I do want to feature the short sword as a planet-side aircraft and a support vehicle like the A-10 Warthog or the Stingray bomber mod for Fallout 4, something like that. Or, you know, like a Pelican that comes by and drops off special supplies or anything. Alright, Xander, have a good day at work, man. Take it easy.
There was a problem redeeming the gift.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I have that's done, but not like, or that I have a NIF for, but that I haven't like finished. And I don't think I have anything else right now. Yeah, I don't know why the CSO just refuses to show up in the game now. It was showing up just fine a little while ago. Let me see here. Some other space station parts I want to work on getting in soon are probably going to be the like the space dry dock bits from Halo Reach as well that you see, and some other variations of that. Let me see. I want space stations. Oh, yeah, KRP just sent me, no, not that one. This one. Just sent me this over because he forgot he had it, and I've been looking for it forever. Like, it's missing textures, but honestly, that's fine. I really don't care. This was in Halo 5, I think, and I really liked the design of this space station. I thought it was really cool. And I've been looking for it forever, and I can't get access to it because trying to mod stuff with and get access to Halo 5 assets seems to be like trying to apply for a $2 billion loan. You know, it's just a bunch of hoops to jump through. But yeah, I don't know that I'll be able to get it animated in game, but these ring sections are supposed to rotate around for anyone who's played Halo 5 and knows about these space stations. They have like structures along the inside right here. They're really cool looking. You like pass around them. Oh man, so that's really nice. So he's been working on that and sent this over to me, but he lost it forever ago. Just recently found it again, which is nice. It's a really cool station. I want to say no, it's not gonna be that one.
I hate this.
Might be that one.
I hate this.
My organization skills are impeccable.
You know what? We're not gonna talk
Oh, what is up with my textures? Is it because it's a Blender 4.0 file? I bet you that's what it is. Yeah, my warning down here, it's like, you're opening this in the wrong version of Blender. Go fuck yourself. Alright, well, it's not supposed to be purple. I can tell you that. Nice space dry dock to do some ship upgrades, get new ships, stuff like that. That'll be really nice for some of the smaller craft. And then for the bigger ones, I'm working on the heavy shipyard, which right now is just, oh, so this loads in just fine. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even gonna bother with asking about what that's all about. I'm gonna turn this one into a heavy shipyard, so it's gonna have like this top section. There's some more stuff that'll move around over here. I'll probably get rid of like these bits and just make it smooth right there. I'll continue this section over. Let's see now. I'm trying to think of what else I'm working on next. Like, I'm drawing a blank. I don't have a model for it, and as far as I can tell, one does not exist. But I'd really like to get the, let's see, unyielding. The unyielding Hierophant, which is a big Covenant space station sort of thing. You, computer, do what I ask you to do. This shaboingery right here. Massive station. This thing's about a little bit bigger than a CSS supercarrier. So that'll be a fun little did to do. I gotta make a model for it because none exists. Yeah, because it's not on PC. Halo 5. The multiplayer is on PC. I should correct myself. If you have the Xbox app, you can download and play the Halo 5 multiplayer on PC, but that's it. Yeah, it's mostly a game you can avoid and not really be missing much, but it has Warzone, and Warzone was a lot of fun. I've always complimented Warzone for Halo 5. It was so much fun. Such a huge change for Firefight that did a lot of really interesting things.
Clear out my PC storage to download Palworld.
Trying to think. I think some of the next stuff I want to work on might just be some planetary vehicle stuff. I got a lot of different things I can do with that. Um,
200.
and probably one of the first things I'm gonna do
No, 400.
is oh, not this one.
232.
This is not what I meant to pick, but
Computer
you know,
storage is 470.
needs to be fixed. I don't know what's wrong with these things. Yeah, none of that works. I don't know why that looks all weird like that. There's a nice model of this that I'm trying to get a hold of that Rejected Shotgun uses, but I don't think I have it. And I don't even know if I can find it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Where the hell is it? I know I downloaded it again. Maybe I didn't. Oh. No? I really need to go through and reorganize this stuff again. I could have sworn I had the damn the one from Halo Reach, and I'm blanking on it right now. The not the Hornet, but the dude, my brain is like Falcon. That's what it's called, the Falcon. And I thought I had it, but I don't. Which sucks. Got some more of these though. Well, your sensors. Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna be it for the project stream. I'm gonna try and get the cell with the CSO working a little bit better. I'll prune the UNSC fleet cell as well. Get rid of some of those extra ships, and maybe all the stations and all that will load in. Alexa, dismiss. Baby, what's that alarm for?
That my tape is all done.
Okay. Do you have Among Us downloaded?
Yeah. I'm getting the mod in right now.
I don't know what mods we want to do, cause. All right. For anyone interested in some fun gaming stuff to continue that on, we're moving over to Twitch for Among Us after a brief hiatus. So if you're interested in that, I'll be posting the link to that in my Discord server. If you don't have that link, if you're here from other places, you can check my YouTube bio for the links to my Discord server, and also I think my Twitch should be in my YouTube bio. But if it's for whatever reason you can't seem to find it, or for whatever reason it's not there, although I'm pretty sure it should be, it's just twitch.tv/4doorsraven. It's my same username everywhere. You know, I have more videos on the project if you want to go check those out. More live streams. I'll probably work on another like proper video here soon to showcase some more stuff. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I'll see anyone else who's coming for the game stuff here in about 20-ish, 30, less than 30 minutes. 15, 20 minutes, something like that. We'll see how long it takes me to get Twitch set up and Among Us stuff done. So, alright guys, thanks for popping by.